You in the team, Wade?
Don't know.
Wait to hear, right?
I'm sure we'll find out over the course of the weekend. We leave today, so plenty of time to prepare and get ready.
You've played Walsall obviously this season. What do you expect from them?
Same as really. I think I've played them twice since I've been here. They've been tight games both times. I think we nicked a 1-0 there last season and drew 1-1 this year, and both times have been tight games, so I wouldn't expect it to be any different. I think they'll be a good footballing team, so you always say that, don't you, when there's two good footballing teams, you always say you hope it'll be good, and it turns out to be a stinker, but it's got all the ingredients to be a really good game, so hopefully it will be.
You've played in some big games in your long career, and where does this stand? Is this one of the big days in your career?
Yeah, well, I've said to a couple of lads, I've played 700 or 800 games in my career, and only one of them before has been at Wembley, so it's an opportunity that doesn't come around too often, and I think you have to really look forward to it, and these are the sort of games that you put all the long hours in for, so yeah, it'll be right up there.
Can you help the younger players with your experience?
I think they seem to be doing all right. I think we're fortunate. We've got 4 or 5 who've played at Wembley before, so that will probably help take some of the nerves and some of the sightseeing out of the equation. And I think we've got a pretty good level-headed bunch. I think everybody's focused on not going there for the occasion. We want to go there and we want to enjoy it, but we know we'll enjoy it if we win. So I've got every confidence that despite it being a young group, I think they handle the occasion well.
Sometimes the advice is to enjoy every minute because it goes by quite quickly. Has that been your experience?
A little bit. I think I played in a playoff final at Bournemouth, and we had a young squad, and we spent a big portion of the game sort of looking at the crowd and waving to our families, and I think if there's anything I could pass on, it's that we're there to play the game and do a job, and if we do that and we're fortunate enough to win it, then we can enjoy it and milk it a little bit afterwards.
It is all about winning now, it's not a day out.
Yeah, absolutely. It has been from the off, in fairness. I think from sort of the very first game, the manager's been he's been insistent that he wanted to do well in the competition, and it was he saw it as a trophy that we were capable of winning. So we've come this far, had some tough games to get here, so want to make sure we finish it off now.
What is it about rising to the occasion rather than sort of shying away from it when you step out onto that massive stage?
I think it's about not playing the occasion. I honestly think it's about if you think in terms of that, then you're liable to let it get to you a little bit. I think you've got to. I found the best way to approach it is that it's a game of football like what we've all done hundreds and hundreds of times before. You strip out the crowd and the trophy and everything else, and it's no different to what we've been doing every other weekend this season. So for me, I've always found that's the best way to approach it.
And you know you're playing a team that you're more than capable of beating.
No, I wouldn't. I think if we play to our potential, then we're capable of getting a result against most teams. I don't think that won't be the attitude we'll be taking into it. I think we know we're in for a tough game. I think we know that from the games we've had against Walsall, and you can see that in their area final where they beat Preston, and they've taken a point off MK Dons at the weekend, so we know they're a more than capable team.
Young Oscar, you've been very involved with him. The walk's underway. They all hope to get there in time for kick-off.
Yeah.
That'll be... Let's just assume they do. But how much of a motivation is he for you personally in this game, and in the hope that fundraising will be complete come the final?
Yeah, well, that would really cap it off. If it'd be a perfect day really if we were able to get a result and win the competition, and if Oscar was able to reach the total he needs for his operation, and that's been in sort of a season of good feeling and good stories. That's been right up there, and I think that says a lot about the atmosphere around the place and the support and the good feeling that everybody, not just at our club to be fair, but across the city, everybody's been able to get behind Oscar and support him, and I spoke to him on Tuesday night and know how much he's looking forward to being mascot and leading us out. His mum told me that he wants to wear his suit there and then get changed into his tracksuit like the rest of the lads, and he that'd be a great story if you know he's able to come back this time next year and walk us out.
How much are you short in the family? I know it's about 50 grand.
I think they're about £5,000 short now, I believe. So, it's been a fantastic campaign, and I think that's credit to his mum and the people behind it who have really drove it, and probably credit to Oscar as well. I think everybody who, when you meet him, you're engaged by him, and he's a lovely kid. So I think sort of everybody he's met, he's got on board, and it's probably a testament to him that he's had so much support and goodwill.
He's an inspirational young chap, really, isn't he? In some ways?
He is, yeah, because...
He never complains, does he?
No, and that's exactly it, really. I think we're in as footballers, we're in a privileged position, and we can moan with the best of them about anything. So you meet Oscar, and he's 6 years old, and everything that he's had to endure and that he does endure on a daily basis, and whenever you meet him, invariably he's got a smile and he's upbeat and he's happy, and puts you in your place a little bit. If you're sulking about getting a bad result or not playing well, then I think you look at Oscar and it humbles you a little bit. So he's a lovely kid, and if the football club are able to help him in any way, then I think that's all credit to everybody who's helped and has been involved in the campaign.
You get wheelchair issues, you're going to have to get on Saturday. You're going to have to be pushed onto the pitch.
I think he will be, yeah. But thankfully the tunnel
with you,
the tunnel at Wembley's a lot closer to the walkout than at Ashton Gate. It was...
To be easy.
Yeah, so...
You're doing that, are you?
I don't know the arrangements and the logistics, but I'm sure that'll be nailed down over the course of the next couple of days.
Did you look nervous on Tuesday?
No, not at all. I don't think he's any. I think he's probably take it better than most of us. His mum just said he was super excited. Said he didn't sleep before when Oscar was mascot before the Preston game. He didn't sleep, so I'm not sure. Not sure he'll be getting much sleep between now and. Yeah, thanks for that, Andy.
Well, you pitched up here January last year. It's pretty fair to say it was a very, very different football club and place and atmosphere back then. And how different do you feel it is now on this long?
My first game was Brentford away on a Tuesday, and I think we were second from bottom or something like that. And I travelled down on the day. I signed that morning, travelled down, and I was a little bit taken aback by how many fans we had there then. So for where the club found themselves in the league and everything that was going on, the atmosphere around the place and from the fans was surprisingly good. And
do you think then if we can do something here,
yeah,
this lot will follow us?
Yeah, I think so, because we had that level of support there when we were struggling, and if it turns round and then the potential's at the football club and they have that level of support, and all the ingredients were there really. I knew the manager from old, and I knew the direction that he wanted to take the club in, and there was ability in the squad, and it's really, it's been a fantastic turnaround, and you've got to credit that to sort of the owners and the manager really. I think this has been his vision, and he's the one who, from dealing with him, he's football nuts and he's intense, and he's really been the one who's sort of driven us on, and the lads have bought into it, the fans have bought into it, and it's been a great place to be. It's sort of just everything combined. The numbers we have going to away games like MK Dons, and watching in Coventry, and watching the new stand go up, and now we've got a trip to Wembley, and the other things like Oscar's fundraising, and just everything combined. It's made it a really good there's been a really good feel around the city and the football club, and up to this point it's been a great year, and it's up to us now to have a big 6 weeks and make sure we finish the job off.
Cheers, mate.
But have you enjoyed this build-up a bit more than to the playoff final? Obviously, there's so much pressure in that week before.
I'll be honest, we haven't been able to think about it too much, which is probably a good thing. We've had Saturday, Tuesday for the last 7 weeks, I think 6 or 7 weeks. Obviously, the league is important to us, so everything's been fully focused on preparing for that. And until yesterday, you can see all the lads have got fresh haircuts, and so until yesterday, I don't think anybody's really been able to turn their attention to Sunday's game, which might be a good thing, because I think if you have too long to think about it and build it up, you can start overthinking it a little bit. When we went there before with Burnley, I think we went away to Portugal about a week or so before, and it was really relaxed and low key, and it took us away from all the attention. And I think we had the benefit of that when we turned up at the game. It hadn't affected us too much. We were quite easy going into it, which was surprising given the scale of the game. And it might work well for us again that we've had so many league games, and really all our attention's been on that. And we've only got 2 or 3 days to focus about Wembley and everything that comes with it now.
Have you been thinking about scoring a winner again, or would you rather let somebody else take the limelight?
No, I'm happy to take the limelight if it comes. It was the playoff final with Burnley couldn't have gone any better for me, really. All my family were there, all my friends, and obviously we won the game, and I was fortunate enough to score. And it was after about 12 minutes I scored, and for the next 80 or so, I'm thinking, come on, let's get a second and kill the game. And about 5 minutes to go, I'm thinking, hang on, no one else scored. I'm the only one who's. So it worked out perfectly for me. But I'd be honest, as long as we win the game, I'm not too fussed at the weekend.
Would it be satisfying as a player to see Wembley, pretty much full with 40,000 Bristol City fans? That'll just add something, won't it, to the occasion? Yeah,
it will. It's a fantastic response by the fans. I know they've got about 60 odd coaches going from the ground, and I'm sure the trains will be packed and people making their own way there. And it will really add to it. I know Walsall have had a lot of sales as well, so it might not quite be a full house, but I don't think it'll be far off it. And it's a fantastic response, really, and it's great that the game's catched everybody's imagination in that way. I think that just goes to illustrate the potential of the club and the backing and the support that we've had over the course of the season.
Yeah, when the club are building a new stand because they can't want to fit as many fans in the ground. I mean, the fact they've taken 40,000 to Wembley just proves what a big club this is. Yeah,
it is, or it has the potential to be anyway. And I think it's fantastic for players coming in every day and seeing the stand going up, and I think it's nice for us to be at a club that you feel is on the up and wants to move forward and is moving in a positive direction. And like you say, I think that's only reinforced by when you see that we're taking the number of fans that we are to Wembley, and I think that illustrates the potential of, like you say, the potential of the club, and that can only be attractive to players and can only contribute to the good feeling around the place that I spoke about earlier.
Feel my spirit